Right. So, very good morning, all of you. So, with a slight break, right? We're going back. So, this weekend current affairs. Before we getting into, okay, the others are online. Okay, they're about to join. I think the few more. Oh. So, as the recent exams, especially the TSPS, or for that matter, APPSC, clearly shows a different trend, right? Unlike once upon a time, direct questions. If you know, you can use it. Otherwise, no. Most of them are the memory based ones. But the present pattern is not like this. It looks like you are aware of it, but still either taking time to answer it, or as few said, you don't know how to answer it. Okay. Of course, if you are not aware, no issue. But the reality is that what they are testing is of your thinking lines, not that what you are thinking, how you are thinking. Their entire question pattern is focused. So, first you have to keep that in mind, and your preparation mode should go accordingly. Then you can coolly, comfortably attempt the civils groups examination, whatever it be. Because the pattern is entirely different now. And when you come to the subject, especially the question, whatever it be, it is not something odd. It's known. It's a current affairs based. Even your geography, history, if we look in depth, and especially science and technology. Of course, naturally, the polity, economy, or current affairs based. Directly, they are not asking. What are the issues that are coming up? Based on this, you have the question. So, once it is, so the reason why reading a newspaper or a magazines is important. Along with that, very, very important thing is you have to make your own notes, not just facts it is concerned, and revise that as many times as possible. Okay. So going in depth is more important now. Okay. They are not just asking the peripheral question. Okay. They are going a bit in depth. And when most of the question, which are the following is true or false. So you need to be aware of the complete aspects. The wholeness is tested rather than a piecemeal. Okay. So your quality reading is very important. Okay. So keep this in mind. Let us back to our current affairs session. As the day yesterday, where the landmark, the historical significance, again, the Chandrayaan 3, our scientists successfully able to launch it. So we have the two and before one, and more importantly, we are focusing more on indigenous. Apart from this, we ourselves making use of it. We are facilitating for other countries also, other countries' satellites also from our space center, space vehicles. In addition to even the private ventures we are encouraging. In a way, it's going to be a commercial mode as well in the course of time. This itself they're making as a business part. So as we are marching towards that, and this is very much an entire world is watching, and one to the moon, Only three countries is the two. Now India stands as fourth one. So first, of course, the US, followed by Russia. And of course, once upon a time they called USSR, now Russia. Then China, and of course now India. And keeping this a present exam pattern, how the things are going on. Okay, I thought of giving more insights into it, so that you will have, and later to go through it, and I'm sure that you can make it. So this satellite, once we are talking about, launched from LVM-3 vehicle. When you say this is what, okay, hitherto we heard the name of GSLV, right? So this is the things we used to make it. Now it was renamed as LVM. No doubt from the GK point of view, because the differentiation you have to keep in mind very much. So geosynchronous launching vehicle. This MK3, the version, okay, version it is. Then what is LVM? Hmm? What is the full form? Because PSLV before ASLV, followed by GSLV, then because we have three parts, okay, when the launching vehicles. ASLV is initial, augmented satellite launching vehicle. Okay. So initially we used to have ASLV, then the PSLV, then GSLV. So this is all order. Now we made it, this was renamed as LVM. Okay. Part is concerned. What is ASLV? Augmented satellite launching vehicle. PSLV, Polar. GSLV, Geo. Then what is LVM now? Even online, no answers. All the newspapers carried, even everybody the other day talking about. Because once something different, you have to be. There's no option. Okay. And I'm sure that you can easily recollect also. Hmm? Oh. Think over and tell me. So, of course, these are all the things that happen. And another thing you have to keep in mind, of course, the launching by the ISRO, doubt. The full form of ISRO, they may be this Indian Space Research Organization, headquarters of ISRO, Bangalore. Okay, launching from Sriharikkota. There, of course, you have to keep in mind the few more points, like once upon a we used to call SHAR. Okay, even number of exams they used to ask you the full form of the SHAR, Sriharikkota High Altitude Range. Okay, now it was renamed as, okay, Satish Dhawan. Okay, Space Center. So once, this is one general part you have to keep in mind. And of course, the date. The questions now, which are the following, true or false, or if it is in an order, and specifically dates. Recently, it's coming it up. Okay, and in the Telangana history and everything, they are focusing more on dates. History part once upon a time used to be there. Later, even in economy, the few flagship programs, government programs, they are starting asking the dates. So once any landmark date advisable, 2-3 times once you look at, no doubt you can do so. Anyhow, before getting into, previously we have the missions, quick glance. Ours, when the satellite part is concerned, what is Aryabhatta? Why we recollect the name of Aryabhatta? Is the first. Of course, vis-a-vis the satellite is concerned, is the first. But the name of Aryabhatta, what is he? Hmm? What for he was very famously known, what he discovered? Zero, right? Once the zero, and now the completely this computers related, everything is based on this. It was done on this one, right? Then, but yeah, sorry, so I not checked it. Okay, Sri Harikota, Satish Dhawan, right? Answers we are getting. LVM, yeah, the launch vehicle mark. Okay, Dilip Kumar mentioned, good enough. Then, invention of zero, good. So, if the questions on Aryabhatta arises in any form, it's because of this sort of incident. That's what some sort of the background you have to keep in mind. And from where this Aryabhatta, the first craft launched, is it from India or outside? At that time, do you have this? Nothing like this. We launched from other country. Where? America, Russia, right? At the time, China, Japan, huh? Any other country? It's from France. Okay, the very first one. Okay, others you may not even remember. Okay, is from French Guyana. It was done. Okay, so initially is a European Space Agency, and most of our even our INSAT satellites they launched from the French Guyana in the beginning. Later few from Russia and everything. Then we have our own now. So now we are able to do launch others, including the nanos. Then it followed by the Apple. Okay. Then we have INSAT, later the Ocean Sat. All these one by one, we are able to do so. Then main thing of telecommunications related, because all the terms it is concerned, and innumerable remote sensing satellite we are able to launch. Anyhow, that I'm sure that in a science and technology or class you can go through the issues. Okay, now this Chandrayaan is almost all a 42 days of mission. Okay, like Chandrayaan 2, it too carrying the lander and the rover, but yeah, no orbiter. And where it is landing, this is something special. In the south of the moon, it is landing, the south pole of the moon. Generally, in the equator, they used to be, but now it is. So that itself is a peculiar feature. And this may be okay if at all any degrees like this, if they wanted to uh, test you more, this is where it's going to be launched. Then, so this is what we said when said it consisting of lander as well as the rover. Does not, okay, this is a point you have to keep in mind, have an orbiter, because previously Chandrayaan 2 used to be, now there is a major difference you have to keep in mind. Then as the prelims examinations questions always be on this, what for this mission, Once upon a time, only in the main examination, these questions used to be posed. Now, whoever be for the mains, okay, I think the TSPSC result is about to be there, okay, and the other day APPSC result too came. So, mains part, this sort of questions used to be, but now in the prelims itself, including the group one, now that coming group two. So, make note very clearly. What are the objectives of it? So, getting lander, of course, the safe and soft landing is very crucial now, because when the history, the thing is that why we read history or why we look into history is we need to learn the lessons. Now rectifications. After all, we humans makes mistakes sometimes, or some error occurs, or it may human or it may be technical errors. Come what may, we need to learn and rectify. So that's a very the fundamental thing is concerned. Then observing and demonstrating the rover's loitering capabilities on the moon. Then conducting what? The scientific in situ, okay, inside, okay, scientific experiments on the chemical as well as the natural elements. And of course, include the soil, water related to make it. So that we can understand better about the moon and its composition. So future we can go ahead what to do and how to do this. So there are the three basic objectives the mission is carrying on with this. Okay, and this is how when you are touching the south part is concerned, right? If you look at the picturesque part, it will be on this issue. How the rover looks like. Okay, and it is propulsion models. Now, the payloads parts you have to keep in mind these examinations. So previously we never used to be taught this. Okay, but there are the information which your eyes should catch rather than you reading and do the thing is concerned. Okay, as which is right and wrong or which is related. Okay, you have to be. So lander payloads, we have the chassis, okay, Chandra surface thermophysical experiment. So this is to carry out the measurement of the thermal properties of lunar surface. Then we have Rambha, okay. So our mythology of Rambha is different. So this Rambha looks like in a way, but still has to be what it's all the full form. Radio anatomy of moon-bound hypersensitive ionosphere and atmosphere. And it is to measure the near surface plasma, okay, density and its changes. Okay. Then we have ILSA, instrument for lunar seismic activity. No doubt, we need to be aware of the seismic activity in and around this landing site, most important thing. Then after that, other areas. Then finally, we have LRA, laser retroreflector array. So it is to understand the dynamics of moon system overall. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 main part that you have to keep in mind. So possibility of the full forms also. Okay. Always remember Chase, Ramba, Ilsa, LRA. Okay, what for these programs? Okay, then another one, continue with this rover payloads. We have limbs, APPSC, laser induced breakdown spectroscope. So it is to qualitative and quantitative elemental analysis and regarding chemical composition and regarding minerals, logical compositions, it will look into that. Then APPSC, alpha particular X-ray spectrometer, and of course is to determine the elemental compositions of soil and rocks. So this is the very crucial part. What the elements are there? Then we have shape, spectropolarimetry of habitable planet Earth. So the word when you said habitable Earth, the future, can we send the humans? Can they live? All the issues are there. So, but the human life possible or not? So we are moving toward this. So this is the shape. So we have the shape, apexness, and limbs. Okay. And quick recollection of Chandrayaan 1. So it's happened in 2009. And the purpose, of course, also orbited around the moon for chemical, mineralogical, and photogeological mapping of this moon. And it is able to detect the water and hydroxyl on this lunar surface. Okay, at least some sort of detection has happened. And of course, 386 crores cost that related. So Chandrayaan 1. And when it come to the Chandrayaan 2, 2019. So when you look at 2009, exactly after 10 years, 2019, it has taken this. Though generally consider the mission as a failed, but it collected an information regarding even the presence of the water molecules and etc. And it is of 970 crores project. And finally, now 2023, this concern. So the 3 years. So year wise, because recently the question is arising chronological order. If 1, 2, 3, we can do it, but years part rises. So all the issues are there. So advisable to look into this. Okay. Of course, these are all in a simplified versions. I put it up all quick recollections, all those things. And there's one person because when you said ISRO, who is the chairman of ISRO? Somnath. So everybody is there. But regarding every mission, there's a person. And this time being the woman, okay, heading it, advisable to remember this one. Okay. So Ritu Karidhal, okay, and popularly called a rocket woman of India. So she is the mission director of this Chandrayaan 3. Okay. Okay. So these are the few aspects you have to keep in mind about this Chandrayaan 3. Any doubts? very crucial things, if at all. Okay. So, hmm, who was the first person entered into space? Space I'm talking about. Moon, Neil Armstrong. Space, Yuri Gagarin. Just I do. I think all these things we learn in our school days, but still, even today, they're relevant. And who the first Indian entered into space? Rakesh Sharma. First Indian woman, Kalpana Chawla. And first Indian entered into space, so entered into moon. So far, no. Right? It is yet to, as a person, huh? You want to be. Okay, right. So have the dream, there is no issue. Okay. And future, right? There's a possibility of the commercial venture. As a tourist, also, you can go and come back. You need not to be a scientist now, isn't it? So that's what, how far it's going to be habit pattern. So back to other news. The other day, again, the Modi news right now, our Prime Minister is in France. And UAE, the two countries, the visit. And one of the thing is that apart from other things, he was conferred with the highest civilian award of France, Legion of Honor. So, like our Bharat Ratna is the French Legion of Honor, and he's on his visit to participate in the National Day celebration. So we have Independence Day, Republic Day, two crucial things. Independence Day, we got, of course, freedom. Republic Day, hmm? Constitution. You should have called Constitutional Day, right? Already we have Constitutional Day, November 26th, right? Why Republic Day? Hmm? So think over and tell me. No doubt, Constitution came into force on that day, but already the Law Day, Constitutional Day, we are celebrating. So two national festivals like this, do French too have this National Day. It too got freedom from where? Not from foreign rule, from the rule of the monarchy. Okay, inspired by American Revolution, the people revolted against the horrific rule of the kings with the concept of liberty, equality, fraternity. That's the slogans of French Revolution. Right? Liberty, equality, fraternity. The slogans of French Revolution. In which year the French Revolution happened? Now 125 years of celebrations, right? When this always 25, 50, 75, 125, you have to keep those things in mind. Others may or may not be every year celebrations. 1789, the French Revolution. Okay. Is it visible? 1789. I think, yeah, here it is. Okay, the French Revolution. And remember those liberty, equality, and fraternity, the slogans of French Revolution. We kept in our constitution also, where we kept those three words in the preamble, right? We kept this word inspired by this. And French people get inspired from Americans. The reason why they gifted a statue is a statue of equality or liberty, French or unity, huh? Which the French people gifted to Americans, statue of liberty. Okay, so that's in America, yes, with all the slogans and everything, right? And statue of equality is here. It's a symbolically statue of liberty. Whose statue it is? Ramanujan. Good. Statue of unity, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's. Okay. I mean, those things once it this and able to recollect is always good enough. If the questions posed in history this implies that yes, present thing they are asking. Okay. And all the exams, including civils pattern, if observe closely the questions, those are of last 1 years. After now exam over, then next exam. In between, whatever be the things are happening. Focus and last 6 months are very important. And out of 6 months, again last 3 months are very, very, very important. Okay. Just a 1 month before exam, everything you have to take care. Okay. So, and this day, when we take it concern, right? The people they're able to get their Russian and something like the Berlin Wall collapsed. Similarly, symbolically, the people, general people, able to enter into the kingdom, right? When all the gates are there, they collapsed and jumped into the walls and entered into the what you call the area, the premises, the sanctorium, every call of the kings. Okay, so every year they celebrate that one, and of course, the France we have wonderful deal, good relations. One of the most crucial, just the war, just we got it, Rafale. Okay, the Rafale, 36 Rafales already we have, and few more we are ordering. So, is with our latest techno, we have the one. And which company is manufacturing Rafale? Hmm? Uh, the salt. Okay, always. Okay, sometimes that related questions too you have to keep in mind. And of course, recently the French president too visited India all the way, right? So now that our prime minister been to there and he was honored. And remember recently wherever he's going somewhere this highest civilian award able to get it. And with this, okay, is able to get, I think almost all now with this is become the 14 countries. So recently one the poll start, okay, wonderfully designed the various the part which are the things that he got all the way recently. Okay, 19 for the Russian part 2. Okay, Maldives, then UAE's highest civilian award, then Palestine, then Afghanistan's, Saudi Arabia's. So all these countries able to get it. Then of course recently the Fiji, the Nile, Bahrain, and even Americans. Okay, of course, last time itself we received, not this time in 2020 itself. the Bhutan, New Papua New Guiana, Palau. So all these highest civilian awards. So finally, he is able to make it to, including now with the France. Okay, the 14 countries civilian awards is able to get it. So just look at this picture two, three times because we don't know what sort of questions are appearing now. Okay, received, not received. Okay, true, false. This sort of things don't by heart. That's the most important. What to do? Glancing, glancing, glancing. That is number of times you need to look into randomly, not regularly. So that will be familiar in a way. Later, if possible, link it. Which your country will learn is so some sort of association with others. Then you are able to do so coolly and comfortably because it's a multiple choice, and I'm sure that that will be done. And that made to the point to another meeting recently happened of the NATO. A 2 day meeting was done at Vilnius summit we call. Vilnius is the capital of which country? Lithuania. So it happened in Lithuania, the NATO summit. So NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. What it is? Uh, to make it very simple, it is an American-led military pact, a Cold War child. Okay. So to extend a security network to its allies, especially European allies, from the operations of USSR, because USSR, which are the territories under its control during the Second World War and after Second World War, they started imposing communism there. And communism is anti to capitalism as well as the democracy. So American feel threatened this. So to contain Russia, Americans has taken innumerable steps. One of this is security network. So that by chance Russia attacked any country, attack on any country treated as attack on every country, and together they will face the world. So it's a collective security model. Okay, recently appearing in prelims exam, mains exams, and everything. That's the reason why I'm saying the to the point you have to keep in mind and how it originated. These issues always be there. So NATO is an American-led military pact, a collective security measure. Okay, extend security net to the European countries, main Western European countries at the time, because Eastern European countries are under the influence of then USSR. Later, USSR too formed its own military bloc that's called Warsaw Pact. Warsaw is the capital of Poland, so it was named after that. And NATO was formed in the year 1949 with hardly 12 countries in its basket. Okay. Now, how many countries? Now that recently the Finland, Sweden get into, it become 32 now. 32 countries. Finland 31, Sweden 32. Initially, of course, there's some sort of opposition from Turkey. So finally, those things was done away with, and they are able to make it. So we can say this present strength once an examination is 32. It is. So who are these? All these 32 is nothing but most of the once upon a time American antis also know. That is Russian allies. All Eastern European countries became. Similarly, USSR get divided into 15 independent countries. Again, those countries that is. And one of the crucial issue is of Ukraine. Okay. So Russia has apprehension that if Ukraine too join with NATO, now NATO forces are virtually on the footsteps of Russia. Ukraine had direct border with present Russia. So Russia considered it as an existential threat. So it waged a war with Ukraine. Right now, still the war is on. So war started just because of this NATO. Right? Ukraine want to be member of NATO. Otherwise, no war. But has Ukraine get into NATO? Right? No. Still the decision was postponed. Though assurances was given, if not today, tomorrow will become. And the reason why Ukraine was not admitted now, as the war is going on, if it all now admitted, what is the main theme of NATO? Collective security. Attack on any country, treat as attack on every country, and this have to protect that. That means it's nothing but a direct fight now. So what NATO is of the opinion right now is that already war is on. If you enter, it's going to be another world war type is concerned. So instead of entering direct confrontation, let's negotiate and try to put off at the earliest. Till then, NATO is going to support Ukraine, both in financial terms, both in providing the various infrastructures related, especially war infrastructure, when you call the weapons, ammunitions, even strategies, everything they wanted to extend. Though the Ukrainian president, what's the name of Ukrainian president? Zelensky, because that name is also very important. Number of exams it's appearing in a way. Called this as an absurd. Okay, the reason has no value. Okay, the part is concerned. So in a way, a critic says that the NATO is shying away, or else they may have some other agenda. They wanted to what you call use all their unused weapons so far. So they are dumping their other things. So they may come up with the fresh, all old stock, right? They are doing. We have to wait and see what for this. So admission of this Finland and as well as the Sweden is the things happen in this Vilnius summit. Okay, and though they said is they wanted to expedite the Ukrainian admission, only assurances is given, nothing else. And sometimes the Secretary General, UN NATO was headed by Secretary General. Rarely they will ask you the name, but still remember this Stoltenberg name. And where's the headquarters of NATO? Start with B. Brussels. Okay. Brussels in which country? Belgium. Good. Okay. So those aspects you have to keep in mind. And in addition to Hemabindu, Divyasri, to mention, right, good enough. Aparna, or right, actively participating. Dilip, very good. Now, when it comes to the NATO, the few more things which you have to keep in mind now. NATO, though is a Cold War child, no more Cold War now between America and Russia. But a new version of the Cold War is on in a way between America and China rather than Russia now. So, present task of US is to contain China rather than Russia now. So, a different mode it is adopting. Already, a security dialogue initiated with a concept called as Quad. Okay, what is that Quad? Quadrilateral security. Quad is the four, right? Countries it is. Quadrilateral security countries. Four countries. With America as the core, followed by Britain. Then, hmm, of course, India. What the other country? Japan. Then what about Australia? So which is missing? Which we added unnecessarily? Britain. So always it is not there. Okay. It's America because what you call Indo-Pacific focus. Quad is Indo-Pacific focus. As Quad is Indo-Pacific focus, no Britain here. Okay. So no doubt the USA, the main core. So remaining three are of Asians. So we have the Japan, India, and Australia. These three. So UK is not here. Okay. Even France is not in this. Isn't it? Though most of the time it is. So we call this as an Indo-Pacific focus. Even examinations, a naval exercise is very much quad naval exercise. Number of exams that appeared. What is that? And 2 years back it happened in Vishakhapatnam also. And group 1 prelims of APPSC, the question posed. Malabar exercises also. So that's one thing is. Now, when the Quad, the Indo-Pacific focus, why can't NATO have its presence also in Indo-Pacific? Now that to contain China, its presence is very much should be there. So why can't we extend NATO to Indo-Pacific area? So a new concept arises. What we call this is this. If you take this NATO plus is coming it up. So these Quad countries, especially three, we're going to add it, and if necessary, few more in other countries. A new concept of NATO plus. Keeping that in mind, first time the NATO opened its liaison office. It is the first liaison office in Tokyo, the Japan. This is again competitive point of view, very important, and geopolitics, very crucial it is. Okay. Its first liaison office in Tokyo. So it's the concept. So in May 2023 only, it opened. Okay, so the contest, I believe you understood now this. Okay, so NATO plus they wanted to make it. So this is what the word of this Indo-Pacific this. So in addition to this, Quad countries like Australia, Japan, these are anything already the Quad related, and they want to add New Zealand as well as South Korea into this NATO plus. So we have to wait and see when that is going to take the shape. Then one more thing in the recent meet is that because apart from this one, there's a cross-border airspace issue. So the cooperation on this, so airspace cooperation. So they want to strengthen this aviation security. So right now, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, these three are once upon a time part of Russia. So they wanted to have the cooperation in this one. It's a stepping. So in the course of time, all NATO countries wanted to have this, space cooperation. So, as I said earlier, when this admission of the Ukraine was stopped because of this ongoing war. Okay, the reason why it was not the stated reason. So that's about this NATO. Any doubts? Because of course there's no end. A number of times we discussed NATO, and quick recollection of all those items and any add-ons is important. So why your notes is important is because of this. Okay, once you're written, okay, even 2-3 months of your continuous preparation, the next issue is completely revision, repeating one in one form or the another. Okay, so revise. So number of times the revision happened according, okay, automatically we can say. Okay. So any doubt? Then of course one more then topic, gas pipeline again in the news. So we're hearing almost the last 15-20 years is a continuous going on and on. So we don't know when it is going to be the reality finally. But always, even a small step towards this is good enough. So Pakistan and Turkmenistan, these two finally signed a joint implementation plan. If Pakistan, Turkmenistan signed, in what way we are happy? That is two countries, right? In what way we are concerned and India is going to benefit out of this? What is TAPI? Full form? Huh? Say, when it's Turkmenistan, Pakistan. So, T. So now there's an agreement between these two. Definitely it has to pass through the A, then it will come to I. So what is this A? Afghanistan. This India. Okay. The gas pipeline, once we are able to do so, it will be done. So this is how it's all about. Okay. So it starts with the gas field in Turkmenistan named as Galkinch. So Herat, the Herat is in Afghanistan. Kandahar also in Afghanistan. Okay. But whereas when it come to the Quetta, the Pakistan, it will be there. And as well as Multan, it come to, and Fazilka is in India or in Pakistan? Border. So finally that border is in India and Pakistan. India only, because the pipeline ends there. Okay. So this is of the India part is concerned. Okay. So number of exams. Okay. This starting point to ending point, always important. Then how it transforms. Names is very crucial. Okay. Yeah, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan pipeline, right? Aparna Himabindu mentioned it's right. Okay. Right. Then another issue, the Indo-US, of course, recently Indian Prime Minister is on a state visit to America, and innumerable agreements also happened. Apart from this, there's one more issue. There's an operation, broader SWOT. So various operations that's happening, and this is to stop drug trafficking because drug traffics is a very crucial aspect. Now we need to address that. So to prevent illicit pharmaceutical devices, precautions, chemicals, etc. Okay, this was done mainly. So already this operation is on and it stopped more than okay there's 500 plus shipments of illicit drugs. So especially patrolling on oceans is very important issue. So there's a new operation. Keep that in mind. Then back to again this SCO. Recently, the summit was held. What is the full form of SCO? Shanghai Cooperative Organization. A meeting was held in India, but not in physical mode, again in virtual mode. Last minute it was decided. Initially thought the physical mode only, but the virtual mode. So India chaired this year's Shanghai Cooperative Organization meet. And shortly it is going to hold another summit. What is that? G20 summit also. It is so we're in a busy in a part also. So this year both SEO and as well as G20 summits were held in India. So SEO is a more an online as a virtual summit. So what is SEO? Like we said, NATO, American led. This is SEO is a Chinese led. Is it a military bloc? But it's more of economic cooperation and security. We will not use the word military, but the security. Security concept is involved. Okay. We have the wing, the anti-terrorist squad is there, called RATS, RATS, Regional Anti-Terrorist Squad of SCO. Okay, so a security and economic cooperation is a Chinese-led security and economic cooperation organization. This is SCO, initially called Shanghai Five, five countries, now later transformed into Shanghai Cooperative Organization. Then India and Pakistan also right now the members. When India joined 2017, same year Pakistan joined. Now this year, what is the new member? Iran became the new member. So finally, the SCO, how many countries? So 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, right? This is how it happened. Shanghai 5, then later 6. Then we have India, Pakistan. Then now present structure. Okay, with all 9 countries right now in this one. So, so it inducted recently is of Iran. But one aspect, a controversy, because though it's a Chinese led, naturally China wanted to get approval from all the countries of its flagship program that's called as OB or once upon a time, now the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. Except India, all other members are with China regarding BRI. But we opposed BRI project. Even in the meeting, we express our apprehensions over BRI project. What is BRI? When Belt and Road Initiative, previously called as OBOR, One Belt, One Road. Now BRI. What it is a connectivity project. Okay, BRI is a connectivity project. Connecting what to what, connecting whom to whom is an issue. Connecting China with the rest of the world, especially Asian and European countries. Okay, African countries. Main focus on this. Connecting to Belt and Road. Belt stands for road connectivity. Okay, belt implies road connectivity. So it's laying the roads. One of the crucial road where India objecting is CPEC. China, Pakistan Economic Corridor. Is it China, Pakistan? In why we are objecting? Passing through POK. Sure? Hmm? So, if you say this, okay, if for example, right, this is on the top, okay, the part is concerned. So the it's passing through like this. This is the area called as GB, Gilgit Baltistan. This is all Ladakh. This is the J&K. This area you will find POK in the Kashmiri part, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Gilgit Baltistan was not occupied by Pakistan because Jammu and Kashmir consisting of three regions: Jammu and Kashmir, Gilgit Baltistan, Ladakh. Okay, all they were ruled by once upon a time Har Singh. So once Jammu and Kashmir became part of India in 48, then King Har Singh made entire Kashmir because he's an emperor. But once the Britishers gave it an option what to do, give an option for these princely kings to be independent or to be part of either India and Pakistan, he opted independent. And Pakistan want that Kashmir. So, with the help of few tribals, it started occupying, and this was occupied. This Gilgit Baltistan already expressed his desire to be part of Pakistan and became part of Pakistan. Okay, but technically not. Jinnah said, "We want entire Kashmir rather than wait." Then he asked him to wait. Okay, so no need to occupy the Gilgit Baltistan because already voluntarily Gilgit Baltistani king, okay, with the help of the few British generals, negotiated with Pakistan and done it. Ladakh is different. Though is under it, is of more of tribals and the Buddhists rather than the Muslims there. Isn't it? So it's passing through now the CPEC from the Gilgit Baltistan, not from this POK. Still we are objecting. Why? It's a sovereign issue for us. For example, you have, say, 10 acres of land. You sold somebody 10 acres. The other person will get control over all 10 acres. Assume out of 10 acres, 1 acre is under kabja. Somebody unauthorizedly holding it. Still, you transfer 10 acres to somebody else. That somebody else will get it or not? Same thing, right? Technically, he will get complete control. He is an owner. The similar case here. Okay? When the Har Singh is an emperor, is a legally, that is what de jure, as per law. Okay, 9 is so naturally the king. So we got it. So we considered it's a disputed territory, and China also accepted that it's a disputed territory. So China also considering it's a disputed territory. But still it is laying the road. So we are objecting. How you will lay the road and a disputed territory? So why don't you do it from once you start from here to reaching Pakistan? What is the place? China? Kashgar. Pakistan? Gwadwar. So why don't you do this? It is like this, isn't it? Anyhow, it is coming like this. It's something like our outer ring road. It will goes on. Why it is B? Actual plan of 2014 when you design it is like that only. Later design they changed. Then why you have done it? So some hidden agenda perhaps there. So that's what we are questioning, the hidden agenda as well as overall of the thing. And even in SCO meet, in spite of Chinese trying to owe India, but we oppose this program. So the reason why again the BRA project is in the news, and it is okay. And remember now in this when you use the word BRA, B for belt, right? R for road. Road implies it is the port connectivity. Sea connectivity this is. Though looks like a road, it's a maritime Silk Road. Is nothing but a sea connectivity. One port with another. Chinese ports with Sri Lankan ports with African ports like this. Okay. Hambantota port very much in the news, right? Like in Djibouti, an African port where the Chinese established their naval base now. Okay, Djibouti, which will taken. So like this, they are connecting one port with another in every country. Into Maldives, every country they are to be in this issue. For China, it may be advantageous. So we are having apprehension over this, and still we question that BRA project. Okay, so that factors you have to keep in mind. Then, in this case, of course, quickly recollect because an issue of the Kashmir arises. Recently, the Supreme Court started discussing about or take up the case of this scrapping of Article 370. Okay, so remember that as well. And now, in that case, because when it is designed, remember this Jammu and Kashmir three regions, J&K was given as a status as a state, special status. That has done away with. Okay, so keep that in mind. Anyhow, we'll discuss that part also. So this is the crucial thing of this SCO summit. And as India, the summit was held. The theme of this virtual summit this year is secure. Okay. So this is SCO virtual summit. Secure, S stands for SE like this, everything. Okay. Security, economy, connectivity, unity, respect, environment. So all these issues will be there. So when China simply say connectivity is a crucial thing, then our BRA is nothing connectivity project. So agree, accept this project. But said, okay, we are ready to, but because of CPEC, change the alignment. Then we will do so. One more thing, we are also apprehension about environmental issues. I said address those environmental issues because China least bothered about those considerations. But still, so they are the 6 core areas SCO should be focused. That's what India mentioned, and this is the theme of this virtual summit: security, economy, connectivity, unity, respect, and environment. So we call this a word, secure SEO. Okay, this is how it was done more on this. And of course, just as I said, Iran joined, and Belarus signed the memorandum of obligations. So in 2024, Belarus may become a 10th member. Okay, already. So would be member. Okay, the Belarus. So next year, the new member is going to be. So 9 become 10 now. Okay, 10 then. Okay, not now. Then here one more thing is the 5 new pillars of this the India created regarding cooperation as SEO. Mainly the startups and innovations has to be encouraged. Traditional medicine, now that Ayurveda and all the things different Unani need to be encouraged more. Digital inclusions, and of course youth empowerment, and finally shared Buddhistic heritage, because most of the countries they have this Buddhistic heritage, including China. The Buddhism is very much is there, so they wanted to have shared with these issues. So regarding the specific cooperation, when is there this focused areas of cooperation are these ones. Okay, startups and innovation, no doubt very important, and traditional medicines as well as Buddhistic heritage. These two are very much of Indians, nicing. Then overall general benefit is digital inclusion as well as youth empowerment. Okay, so they are the focused areas of this Shanghai Cooperative Organization. Okay, so this part is you have to remember this. Okay, then of course coming to the important national issues, the Prime Minister batted for uniform civil code. So first time, right? Though the uniform civil code is very much discussing from long time in one form or the now prime. So one the Prime Minister is the more of the debate and possibility of introducing a model bill shortly in the coming session also. Already the parliamentary panels committee is looking into the issues. So we want uniform civil code. That means we don't want uniform criminal code. Am I right? Only civil we want. We don't want criminal. Huh? No need for criminal. Already it is there, right? So regarding criminal, if A killed B, it doesn't matter. A is Hindu or Muslim or Christian or the male or the female, doesn't matter. Only regarding whether minor or major, there's a difference, okay, regarding punishment part. But when it comes to the civil matters, like marriages, divorce, property issues, etc., there's a different laws, and those are based on religion practices, which are coming from generation to generation, so customs and traditions. Even the Britishers has not dared enough to touch that. So they too allowed, though all the present criminal code, IPC, CRPC, done by them only, right? We are continuing this with the minor changes. But civil, they never entered into. Even when the constitutional makers is there, and already the bloodbath is at a time is there on the borders, on religious ground. So they too don't dare to go for common civil code. But Ambedkar and all the constitutional because they are of the opinion that if not today, tomorrow, let us have uniformity. So keeping that in mind, uniform civil code, okay, state shall strive for civil code. Where it is now in the constitution? 44. That article you have to keep in mind, okay? When this UCC 44, even this remembering also become, okay, is an uniform and common, okay, for all these issues. And this is a debatable point. Some are supporting, some are criticizing, right? Both are there, the issue. And a number of legal points they have to look into. Common means what? Is it Hindu law or Muslim law or tribal laws or the Christian law? Which will make it common? Most crucial, right? So one person recently said in a polygamy is existing in Islam, not the monogamy. Monogamy is in Hinduism. Only one wife, one husband, not otherwise. But whereas in Islam and as well as a few tribals, it's not the case. Tribal cultures too, they do prefer the polygamy. But in Islam, polygamy implies only men have more wives, not vice versa, as per my knowledge goes. But when the tribals, it is not the case. Tribal culture is different. Polygamy is polygamy. Equality is there, either for the men or the women. It will be there. Though most of them are matriarchal, a mother dominated. Because of that, it will be there. So now, which will make it common? Most important, right? So whoever desire it of, they are doing it in a way. And recently, a case arises addressing a Hindu man already married, has the children, thought of having the second marriage, are legally not permitted. He converted into Islam and had the second marriage. As per law, is perfectly right, isn't it? Now he is a Muslim, so the second marriage. But the biggest law point is Hinduism, second once a marriage, yes, you have to give the divorce then only. Now that you, as a man converted, okay, husband now here in this case converted, not and got it. What about the woman now, the wife? Finally, two wives, if we keep the religion aside, that is again against the. So what is the fate of it? Without giving divorce, if you have the second marriage, Islam law will not say anything. But what about? And what is the fate of this woman now? What is the fate of the children? All the issues are there. So law, in every law, there's a concept called flaw. Some sort of loophole in one form or another. So when the loophole is there, either you will use it properly or misuse, abuse. And in this case is like this. So court have to step in. So here the Supreme Court is yet to deliver, but number of high courts, including Kerala High Court, Madras High Court, and all this, they said it very clearly. If at all a Hindu wanted a second marriage and convert to Islam, first give the divorce. Then you do whatever you like. After that, you can do whatever you like, being in Islam. The procedure has to be. So this is based on the principles of natural justice. Okay? Though when the law is silent, judges can make a law. A judge-made laws we call. Okay? So like issues are there. So we need to address innumerable the part is concerned. So it's not so easy, no doubt it's a challenging task. So supporters are there, opposers are there. Let us say it is a debatable how it going to be. But remember that constitutional point is in part of directive principles of state policy. Which part? Part 4. And these are non-justiciable. They can't be, right? If they fail, you can't go to the court of law for its implementation. It's up to the government to do so. So we have to wait and see what they are going to be done. Then one more constitutional point: the Tamil Nadu governor dismisses minister and backtracks later. So here the quick question, because we discussed this point number of times. A quick recollection is that in a parliamentary system, the head of the state, the president, or at the national level or the governor, they are nominal. They are adhered to the directions, the advice of the Council of Ministers, headed by PM at central level and CM at the state level. There is a constitutional mandate. But unfortunately, few governors creating unnecessary rift, and especially where the party in power is different from the center to state and doing, and this Tamil Nadu case is one of the, so they are what you call over enthusiastic. Okay, something favor they want to do their mother party. So in that part is concerned. No doubt, technically, governor has full power to appoint the chief minister. But once the chief minister was appointed, he can appoint or remove the ministers only on the advice of the chief minister. And that was asserted even by the Supreme Court number of times. Still they are doing. So this is an unfortunate thing. Though the constitution, there is no any specific thing on this. But very clearly stated only. That only, yes, clearly stating that you don't have a discretionary power. No doubt governor has few discretionary powers, where even president don't have. Isn't it? At the national level. He can reserve the bill for consideration of president. No need to ask the advice of the chief ministers. He can recommend the president's rule. No need to seek the cabinet's nod. Isn't it? So few are there, but it doesn't mean that you can use this sort of things. So the reason why finally it was backtracked. Anyhow, it's up to the government what to do and everything. But it has become a controversial. Similarly, there's a split in the party of NCP, National Congress Party of Maharashtra. Again, that takes the limelight of two aspects. One is the role of EC, Election Commission of India. Second thing is anti-defection law. These two we discussed innumerable times. Haven't looked into. One, the party split, which is the original party. Decision has to be taken by whom? By Election Commission. So role of Election Commission is crucial here. So Election Commission will recognize the political parties. First registration should be done, then recognition of the political party. Then the conditions 1, 2, 3, 4 of recognition. When it comes to the anti-defection law, existing party once split up or merge with another party, what are the criteria? What is the minimum thing required? 2/3 members of the existing, if they can merge with other party, then it is possible. But here what's happened? They are not merged NCP with others. They are not split up also happened. Because there is no concept of split now. Once upon a time, 1/3 members together went to anti-defection law will not attract. But now no concept of split. NCP not merged with any party. Now this group came out. Then what happened? What they are claiming? They are claiming this NCP is their own. The group which holding that is not of Sharad Pawar, hitherto the president. It's our own. So do away with Sharad Pawar and team. Okay? They claiming the leaderships, claiming this penalty as if it's ours, not the existing ones. So it's again, they said just now, I said in every law there is a flaw. some loopholes. Here also, anti-defection law is silent on these issues. So, election commission role is very crucial now. The decisions based on election commission only, the Supreme Court delivers because initial decision has to be done, taken care by it. This is or not. Okay, like this in anti-defection law is also silent regarding the role of the speaker. Within how many days speaker should take the decision? Till the speaker takes decision, even court is helpless. So another flaw in anti-defection, isn't it? So anti-party activities. If you do it, yes, party. Then what is mean by anti-party activities? Is a bigger question mark. So there are a few subjective questions need to be addressed, and who you are preparing for the main seriously, you have to address those issues. Okay. So these two aspects revise again of our previous things. Then of course, Article 370, yeah, the pending for last 2 years. Now, this. So hitherto the special status was given. It was undo it. Is it Article 370 is existing or not existing in the Constitution? 369, 371, no 370 now. 370 is still there. Only that provision of special status was done away with. By which amendment? Any change in the Constitution required constitutional amendment, right? Huh? Nothing like this here. In this case, is a presidential order. Is only presidential order. Even Article 35A was inserted into Constitution, very much into the fundamental rights by the presidential order. So that's what peculiar provision vis-a-vis with Kashmir is concerned. That clearly shows that Article 370 special status is only a matter of short term, a temporary provision. At the discretion of the president, he will add or delete. Okay. So 1954, when this 35A was added, just by presidential order added. The reason why, as it was added to this presidential order, if you find the bare act of Indian Constitution, you never find the Article 35A. 35 ends. It's only an annexure. Okay? It's not in detail, not inserted into the provision of the Constitution, though it is in the Constitution. In the Constitution, an annexure, not inserted into this. The reason why now they are able to do is the president only added, president only will delete. Logically, they are right. Legally also, they are, whether right or not, now Supreme Court has to say. Isn't it? But anyhow, it has not stopped the central government from going ahead of undoing these special provisions. So Article 370 once put off, there's no more special status. No more the word except. Previously, every law made by Parliament applies to entire India except Kashmir, except Kashmir. Now we have one country, that is one nation, one. The concept we are adhering to. And first time, there's a what we call degradation, demotion. Hitherto, union territories used to get promoted as states, or union territory got special status like Delhi. And like union territories like Goa and all northeastern states, they were promoted as states. Now, first time, the demotion. State become union territory. Can Parliament do like this? A legal question. It's not in the Constitution right now. Okay. Then again, state was bifurcated, put into two parts. Two union territories. One state now become two union territories. Jammu and Kashmir, what the other? Ladakh. Then what about Gilgit Baltistan? Is it in Jammu and Kashmir or in Ladakh? Total 3 areas, no? Just now I told you. Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, and Gilgit-Baltistan. 3 kingdoms once upon a time under Har Singh. So technically, or in reality also right now, de facto, Gilgit-Baltistan is in Pakistan. But as de jure is India, and the government, while undoing this status, so once it is concerned, is all Gilgit is all Ladakh, this is all J&K. They made like this. So Gilgit-Baltistan became part of Ladakh. Technically, it's now Ladakh, not in Jammu and Kashmir. So when now Pakistan talked about Jammu and Kashmir, it means only this, nothing to do with this. So in the course of time, a new generation comes, they will forget everything. What is the present only they are aware. So entire world is at shock at that time, okay, for this decision. So now the court will look into, can they do so? All the legal points are there, and let us see now that regular hearing what they will do it. Then of course one more thing, the Supreme Court come up heavily on the extension of the term of ED. Okay, so Enforcement Directorate Chief extending and extending Sanjay Kumar. Then the questions why. So Supreme Court asked him, though still the extension term is there, you can resign and give the place to somebody else. So it find that some sort of misuse is there. Though Supreme Court clearly said, no doubt government has the power to extend, but this goes against the constitutional morality. So that is also very important, constitutional ethics and morality, principles of natural justice, and overall spirit of the Constitution is very important. So keep that in mind. It put off this so many extensions of this. It is same thing because CBI ED chiefs because they have the fixed tenures. And one more point, the 8th schedule in the news again. The Orissa government requesting now the union government to include this Kui as an official language so that the moment to incorporate the 8th schedule, that is going to be. Anyhow, right now only the cabinet passed a resolution. Now it has to go to the central government and the union government has to approve, then only a constitutional amendment will be done. And only parliament has the power to add or delete any official language. So right now only a request came from Orissa government. So 8th schedule and official languages, initially 14, later Sindhi become 15, then added. Now how many official languages? 22 official language. Which is the foreign language included in the 8th schedule? Foreign language is one is there. Is it English is there in 22? Not there. Then Nepali. Nepal is the only foreign language included into that. Is it Sanskrit is there out of 22? Urdu is there? Yeah, Urdu is there. Sanskrit? Nobody speaks. But all intermediate students, they want Sanskrit only. Not to learn language, but to gain marks. Okay? So Sanskrit is there. Out of 22, yes. Sanskrit is still there. Okay? Sanskrit is there. Though it's not again, it is there. So the few things quickly you can recollect those aspects. Then of course one more thing regarding women's, the Nari Adalat is coming now. Exclusive court for women. Women only courts. Okay. So all lawyers, this side, that side, judges, everyone is women. Okay, is coming up It is. But right now, initiate the lowest level, starting from the village, as part of an alternative dispute resolution. When alternative means why you will go to the court, unnecessarily waste your time and everything, right? You finish, go there and resolve it. Still, then you can go to the court. A first step towards resolution. Instead of going to the normal regular courts, so we call this an alternative dispute resolution forum. So issues like domestic violence, property rights, and any issues on harassments, patriarchal systems, all the things. So right now, as a pilot project, they are launching in 50 villages and in Assam and Jammu and Kashmir. Each 50 villages, total 100 villages, 50 in Assam. It is so it's a pilot project. So after that, it will be extended to rest of the country. So maybe this year, 6 months will be there. So next year it will be extended. Okay. Then of course, other we have the kamikaze. It's a suicide drone developed by this IIT Kanpur. Just remember this because innumerable features are there. Okay. Now the drones we are using it for monitoring the borders. So it will fly at the low level and can address the issue, especially now the terroristic issues are very much there and it can't be detected by the radars. So they will be used for that. Kamikaze. Then Nallu Sitaramaraju's recently the celebration of Zanpan. So advisable to quickly recollect this. So 125th birth anniversary celebrations happened in Hyderabad. Then all the schemes, either two different. Now there's a scheme, government scheme for elderly people, the aged one, Atal Vayu Abhyuday Yojan. So specially meant for marginal sections of the aged people. And always remember this was done by Social Justice and Empowerment Department. Then now that Asian Games are on, and the musket, hitherto different muskets, but this time the official musket is the Lord Hanuman. So different movie, different controversies, okay, are happening. All the part is concerned. So where the Asian Games started? Thailand. In Thailand, where? Different places or at one place only? Okay, so just remember that aspect. Okay, Aparna just mention Nepali existing good. So this time very good answers from the online student as well, right? So any other doubts, clarifications? Right. Okay, thank you very much and see you next week. Bye.